From Vancouver to Halifax, Flin Flon to Estevan, he's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Good morning, Canada. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show and to Canadian sports fans around the world. We're coming at you on Facebook Live and listen live at rodpedersen.com. Canada's only live morning sports talk shows leaving the harbor. As it were, it's episode 180, and I'm the host, Rod Pedersen. He is the co-host, Darren DuPont. Hello, Dupes.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Cold enough for you?
Oh, my goodness. I was like, I didn't plug in the car, and I looked at the forecast yesterday. It says it was only supposed to be like minus 11 today, and I look at it, it's minus 30.
Ridiculous.
Wind chill 40, and I'm like, I might not get to work, but no, it was fine.
Can any mechanics or car enthusiasts tell us how important it is to plug in your vehicle? Because I've got a beautiful brand new GMC Terrain from Capital GMC. Thanks, guys and gals over there. And I haven't plugged it in yet.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like I need to. Starts like a charm. Oh, our technical producer's laughing on the couch over there. Whoops. Whoops. Wouldn't be the first time I misspoke. Busy day today. A lot of football. We're going to sashay into hockey, of course. Coming up, some feel the top receiver in the Canadian Football League, Brian Burnham of the BC Lions, will be joining us on video chat. I'm very much looking forward to that. Sean Lucas, Saskatchewan Roughriders, great linebacker from the decade of decadence, if you will. Right around,
Yep.
He started in the Shivers era, finished in the Hobson era, had a great ride career. Sean Lucas will be joining us, formerly of the Two-Lane Wave. See what he's up to now. Thaddeus Coleman will be with us.
Whoa.
Free agent offensive tackle who doesn't look like we'll be coming back to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe he can shed some light on that. But he did tweet yesterday, people thinking that he's retiring. He's like, I'm not retiring. He's haven't missed a game in 3 years, or maybe one game.
Yeah.
But he's been one of the most rugged, durable players in the Canadian Football League, and his career's not over. So Thaddeus Coleman will be joining us to talk about that. And Bernie Eisworth, who is not only the president of the Regina Red Sox, he's also the commissioner of the Western Canadian Baseball League, is going to join us later on, and I'm going to tell you why as I get into the Magnificent Seven show topics. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Number one, I don't think we're done on the XFL being a threat to the CFL. I feel like we just pranced around it yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably didn't get in as deep as we should have with that. And any other CFL related topics is kind of show topic one, including our daily poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. And that is, should the CFL adopt a new playoff format? I have not checked the results yet. I tweeted it an hour ago from the gym. I got the green light from Clark to go ahead, and I'm interested to check the results on that. Should the CFL change its playoff format? Because they're talking about doing it in time for 2020. Put me down as a no.
Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist. I like it the way it is. And I've heard the argument. I'm not saying I'm not listening to, but I just don't think it needs to be changed, especially if you're going to welcome Halifax to the league in a couple of years and you're going to go right back to East-West. Why would you change it at all? But what would you vote on that?
I'd vote no. I'm good with the way it is now. And for that reason, I think it'd be, I'd be one of the guys glued to the TV, and we'd be talking about it all morning leading into it at night. When, let's just for argument's sake, say the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to go on TSN and announce who they've picked to play in the opening round of the playoffs, I would be all for that. That would be great. But I say put stuff like that, let the XFL do those kinds of things, and only pick and choose things that you're going to be able to do long term. If you're going to go right back to it with Halifax, don't do it. So it's got to be something that you're willing to commit to long term, and I don't know if they are.
This is the rollout, by the way, for Flooring Superstores and the Dickin family. Trent, very much looking forward to some pool time with you in Mexico beginning Saturday. Trent Dickin from Flooring Superstores. Yes, we're traveling together. It's not just the two of us. It's like 120 people, but he'll be my favorite there, other than my wife. By the way, I just checked the poll results for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. 56% of respondents saying, yes, the CFL should change its playoff format. And do you think, by the way, should the CFL listen to the fans? I'd like to think that they should.
Yeah.
But will they? If they put this to a vote, a plebiscite, if you will, a referendum, should they let the fans decide? How much?
Yeah, that's the big question. I don't think they should let the fans choose completely, but I think the fans should weigh in on it. How much does the fan vote determine and weigh in? Does it count?
That would be cool if it did.
Does it count as a vote at the table of governors and general managers and whatnot? I would say why not? Right? Let the fan vote count as one seat at the table. If you want to get
radical,
right?
let them.
Yeah. Don't let them make the decision, but let them count as a seat at the table.
They would be the 11th vote. You got 9 teams, the commissioners 10, the fans 11.
Yeah.
They could break the tie.
That'd be cool.
You're welcome, CFL.
Wow. I really think that's a great idea.
Why do I got to do the thinking for everybody? It's exhausting. Robert Anderson writes in on the Facebook wall, I am really enjoying drinking my coffee while we BS about sports. A great way to start the day. I agree, Robert. And starting the day with Caliber coffee. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Kevin Diaco writes in from Saskatoon. He says, hopefully Team Sask gets rolling again today at Scotty's. Hang on. It's coming. That was just Magnificent 7, Topic 1. The CFL stuff. Topic 2. L'Orange Ice Wolves goalie Liam McGarva of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. He's 20 years old. He's been suspended 30 days by the SJHL for abuse of an official. Do you know what he did? Squirted water at him.
Okay, that was it. Okay, I did see that.
Harsh or appropriate? I think it's a little much, Bill. And Bill Chow, our good friend, the president of the SJHL, declined interviews on the topic. 30 days for what I read, shooting water at the referee.
Yeah.
30 days?
I know. Ugh.
Seems like a lot to me.
Well, we're big Bill Chow fans and SJHL fans. There's no secret about that.
But I'm also a huge L'Orange Ice Wolves fan.
Yeah. 30 days. Oh.
It's like a jail sentence.
Yeah, and it is. It's tough. It's not games. It's not anything else. It's days. You can't do it. You can't squirt water on an official. You can't do that stuff to an official. Can't get away with it.
Yeah, but 30 days.
But it's a stiff fine. The one thing I will say is Bill Chow is really establishing a precedent of stiff penalties.
He's not Mickey Mousen.
No, and so he's really setting a precedent that, guess what? Things are going to happen. And we can't control things that are going to happen. But if I have anything to do with it, they're only going to happen once.
He's a strict disciplinarian.
They're only going to happen once. So, on that sense, I can't fault him.
Norway checking in today. Trent Bruner writing from Norway. He says, Norway calling. I agree that the CFL playoffs should stay as is with expansion on the horizon. The XFL is viable if it goes more than 2 years, so the CFL needs to expand sponsorships to keep everybody around. And yes, plug the car in if it's minus 15 or colder. Have a good day back home. Thank you, Trent. Preach.
Minus 15 seems a little soft.
Point 3, DuPont finally won a bet with me.
Hey.
It took the Prince Albert Raiders to do it, but the Raiders beat my Pats 5-2 last night at the Art Hauser Center. If I'd have known the Pats were going to put a paltry 17 shots up on Max Paddock, I wouldn't have bet on them.
I know.
5-2, the Raiders won last night, so kudos, PA, and Max Paddock gets the last laugh.
Yeah.
Where are we going for lunch?
I was due.
Where are we going?
I was due. Wendell's, 29th.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, Doyle Benson writing in, manager at Wendell Clark's. Good morning from Wendell Clark's. Good morning, guys. It's Wendell Wednesday, in case you guys didn't know, at Wendell Clark's. Point 4 of the Magnificent 7 show topics. Scotty's and Moose Jaw. My ladies are killing it. Robin Silvernagel and Rachel Holman.
Oh, yeah.
At or near the top of their respective pools. I tuned in last night. It was a shabackling for Robin Silvernagel. So switched over to suits. And then this morning, I was in the gym pumping away at Evolution Fitness, put on the morning draw, and I believe it was Alberta versus Northern Ontario. It didn't hold my interest.
Yeah. No, not quite as much when there's not the local interest or not the big name that you want, the Rachel Holman or the Jennifer Jones. But I've been watching a little bit of it, or a lot of it. Jennifer Jones last night was one of the games that wrapped up the evening, and she is rolling in, I think it's Pool B, but every single game she's just squeaking through by the skin of her teeth. And
that's how you win.
But it's, hey.
She's grinding it out.
Yeah.
This morning, Brian Mudrick. We haven't had him on the show yet. We should get Muddy on.
From
good old Moody. He won't come on from Moose Jaw because he's too busy. But it was this morning. Good morning from Moose Jaw, home of Mac the Moose and the Canadian Snowbirds. Pretty cool things to be known for.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget Deja Vu wings. I would suggest any of you TSN people head over to Deja Vu and the Mad Greek. You can thank me later. But they also talked about how cold it was walking to the rink this morning in Moose Jaw. Minus 26. Woo! Robert Anderson writes in, any plans for a road trip to Vegas to catch a game or two, NFL, NHL? There are plans, sure. But our sports trip with Uniglobe LGI Travel is going to Miami. We've already decided that, right?
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I think we slapped some dough down with the Dolphins. Dolphins are all over it.
Oh, they're all over it. So, yeah, we're just waiting for the schedule to come out before we can confirm the dates of that trip. But you can go online, rodpeterson.com/trip. And I think there still might be a few more early bird deposit spots available. You can put your deposit down.
Yeah. Talked to Michelle from Uniglobe, and they were overrun with deposits already when we announced it Super Bowl Sunday.
Wow.
So they're pretty. Uniglobe, Action Travel, LGI, downtown Regina. Ask for Michelle. She'll set you up. I just, point 5. Tuesday was our most live viewed show ever. Why do you think that was? I know you have we barely talked football.
That's because, what do they say about absence? Right?
Makes the heart grow fonder.
People missed you, Rod.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's the word's growing. We're delivering a great show. But by the time I went home, I got home by 1 p.m. We'd had close to 5,000 views of that day's show. That was the most live views yet.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, it's amazing. It was amazing. I mean, it was a good show though too. I mean, we went and covered just about everything through the CFL, XFL talk. We basically touched in with somebody on every market in the Canadian NHL scene. We went all across the country. It was pretty cool. It was a good show.
And my rant on the Kelowna Rockets has been viewed close to 10,000 times. And one thing I really love, I'll tell you something. You know why I signed up for Facebook way back, just over a decade ago? It was to connect with alumni. Former Pats, former Riders, former Raiders. And a guy that wrote me on Twitter yesterday was Roman Vopat. Do you remember Roman Vopat?
I saw that he messaged on there.
I hadn't talked to that guy in 20-some years. Didn't even know he was still alive. And he gives the emoji of the hand clap. He goes, great rant.
Yeah.
I noticed not too many people in Kelowna liked it. They damn sure liked it in Kamloops, though.
Oh, yeah. Did they ever?
Sherry Petty writes in, New York had Broadway Joe. We have Broad Street Rod. Because whatever road you're on, Rod has it covered. I like it. Can we write that down? We were talking this morning about having a mascot. This is not in my Magnificent Seven show topics, but we were kicking this around in our morning show meeting of having a mascot. And it's going to be an iguana. That's our little joke. And it's going to be named Ricky. Can we get the people downstairs to get on that cartoon? We're going to have a mascot. Watch for it at sporting games near you. J.R. Rowley in Cranbrook.
Where's Alan? Alan, you're going to be in the mascot costume.
Our new intern?
Yeah. He's probably watching this morning.
J.R. Rowley writes in from Cranbrook. He says, probably because rumors say you're going back to radio. What rumors? I haven't seen any rumors.
Are we hitting the rumor mill now?
Awesome. Is that the word on the street?
That's great. I didn't see it on TMZ, but...
Am I going back to radio?
News to me.
I had coffee with a former coworker of mine about a month ago. He says, the rumors are you're going here. And I'm like, they better damn well hurry up then. Because I haven't heard from them.
That's funny.
Just enjoy the show, baby.
Yeah. We're like...
Keep them guessing.
It's funny because Monday's trade deadline, you'll be in Mexico in the NHL. But it's like the players. Hey, I heard you got traded to... Well, really? News to me.
Did I?
Did I?
Oh, babe, believe me, I talked to Ebbs about that. He had to stop listening to NHL radio because he was traded every single day. This is when he was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Whatever the rumors are, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Point 6, and I say it again, I watch ESPN every morning, and I just love it. I'd like to think we're doing here a lot of what they're doing there with their morning show. Mm-hmm. It's called Get Up. Well, they're talking about the day's hot topics, not rerunning SportsCenter 1,800 times. So they're talking about the Astros sign-stealing thing and how, it's just not going away. You see LeBron James has chimed in. I think Shaquille O'Neal's chimed in on it now.
Everybody.
All saying how if they were cheated out of a championship, they would be too furious to talk. And Rob Manfred, the commissioner of the Major League Baseball, has apologized. He did it in Scottsdale yesterday at the Cactus League Media Day for what he said about the World Series trophy being just a hunk of metal. And this is not going away. You know, these corporate big shots just, it'll go away. Just don't talk about it. It'll go away. It's not going away, boys.
No.
And I got thinking this morning as I was watching that, Clark, we got to get somebody in here from the baseball community to talk about this. Because although growing up, baseball was my number 2 sport behind hockey. It really was. Playing it, following it, knew the starting 9 of every team in Major League Baseball. I drifted away from it when my time with the Rough Riders because it sucks up your whole life, particularly summers, right? And baseball changed in that time when I was gone.
Yeah.
So Bernie Eisworth, that's why I said he's coming in, the president of the Red Sox and the commissioner of the Western Canadian Baseball League, semi-pro collegiate league, just to talk about this. Why is it such a big deal? Because frankly, I look at it as innovation. When the Patriots, where's our sales manager, Tyler, the big Patriots fan in town? Is he here? I'm here. Oh, he's here. He's watching. That's good. With the Deflategate. And the Patriots were found to have cheated with the deflated balls on that cold day that would allow them to throw them better, catch them better, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
The Indianapolis Colts did not whine this much about losing that game.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
And is that the difference between football players and baseball players? Like the Colts are like, That's what it felt like to me. And I talked to one of them, Jarrell Freeman. I mean, they were pissed off, but they didn't carry it into the next season.
Yeah. For me, baseball feels like a game that resists innovation, doesn't it? It feels it's such a tradition, America's pastime. It's the one sport that really hasn't made a lot of changes to it to adapt, to try and grow a new fan base. And it's the one fan base, it's the one sport that's losing fans faster than any other. I mean, even golf appears to be growing again.
Yeah, that's thanks to Topgolf, by the way.
Yeah, even golf, where you have 5 hours and 5.5 hour rounds of golf.
They've adapted.
But they've adapted, to increase pace of play, to get things going. Baseball hasn't moved off the 9-inning game. They haven't moved off the 4-hour baseball game. It hasn't happened. And so I think that's why this is such a bigger deal, because in other sports, they're more willing to adapt, change the gear, move forward, innovate the playbooks and different things. In baseball, it's not going that way. And so that's why this is such a big deal.
Well, feel the burn. Bernie Eisworth will be in here to just talk about what's gone insane in Major League Baseball I just think you other teams fall asleep. I think it's innovative. That's the way it goes. And I might be wrong. It's just how I see it. And it reminds me of, but I know we're going a little long here, but that's fine because we're having a good rollout for Flooring Superstores. I talked to a limo driver. There was a limousine convention in Vegas.
Okay.
When I was there. And this limo driver said to me that John Taffer came in, talked to the limo drivers from Bar Rescue.
Yep.
And I love that guy. I just love him.
He's awesome.
He's so great. The way he talks to people.
He doesn't give to what's about anything.
I think when I'm his age, I'll be the next John Taffer. But anyways, he just said, guys, to all the limo drivers, what are you whining about with Uber? Be better. He goes, I got a driver in Los Angeles and New York and Houston and Seattle when I pick up. I don't use Uber. I don't want some stranger showing up and driving me. Guy doesn't even have a taxi cab license, or you know what I mean? He's not a certified driver. Who is this guy? Be better. That's from John Taffer.
Yes.
Hey, you other 31 Major League Baseball teams, be better.
Well,
get with it.
Have we really not evolved from 1s and 2s between my legs for calling, fastballs and curveballs? Like, is there not a better way to mix your signs up? Now, I'm not a baseball guy. I haven't played in a little while, so I don't know. But you would think they could find a new way to hide those signals, right? I mean,
hello?
The game's been around forever.
It's not 1900.
I mean,
so I should not make light of the situation, but I just think I don't get it, and that's why we're bringing in a baseball guy today to talk about it. And point 7 is simply more Vegas stories. Everywhere I've gone, people want to hear what it was like, and one is the game presentation. I want to tell you something. I got a buddy in Vegas. I told you the athletic therapist guy, the massage therapist guy, David Mancuso is his name. He introduced me to the public address announcer for the Vegas Golden Knights, Bruce Cusick, who also does the Vikings, or did. He had me down in the penalty box before the game against the Blues. The music, Darren, was so loud, it reminded me of the first UFC event that I went to. It was UFC Fight Night in Saskatoon. Anybody that was there would remember it. The music was so loud, it was shaking the skin on my face.
Wow.
You know when you go to the club back in the day and the music's so loud your clothes are shaking?
Yeah.
This was another step louder and my face was shaking at the Vegas Golden Knights game.
Feel it in your core.
Yeah, so I remember coming home from that UFC Fight Night and telling my dad, the kitchen at my parents' house is very similar to this. There's a couch in it. It's the only kitchen I've ever been in my life that has a couch in it. And it's to visit as a family. And Dad's like, how's that UFC? I said, Dad, the music was so loud, my face was shaking. He goes, not something I'd want to go to. I said, newsflash, Dad, they don't want you. They want 20 and 30-somethings.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that's the music, the Golden Knights game was shaking my face, which I was all in for, by the way. I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, they've done a great job, engaging a fan base. And they've done this unique ability. They have this unique ability to have loyalty amongst Golden Knights fans and have a real strong tradition of Vegas Golden Knights and support for your team, yet it feels like they're still very inclusive to opposition fans because they know it's a lot of tourists and things like that. You know, the Jay Bolmeister thing, it's like, hey, we're going to do these nice things, but yet this is Golden Knights territory.
More on that. Our first guest of the day has logged in. We'll break. And I just want to mention a comment from Derek Lafreni writing on the Facebook wall. He says, I can't watch today, but checking in just to share the stream. Got to keep that top fan status. Thank you, Derek. We got to do something for the top fans. Can we think about that? We got some stuff around here for top fans.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back. Brian Burnham, some say the best receiver in the CFL. We'll talk about that and more, plus a sports update on the other side. This has been the Rollout for Flooring Superstores on Facebook Live and listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Peterson On Demand. For more of The Rod Peterson Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Peterson on social media.